Hello, it's Nigby. So I've been picking a few of these, and somebody in the comments asked about them, and I'd been threatening to try and do a destructive gutting. He actually, it was a guy called Motorist1. He pointed out that there was actually a screw hole down the shackle, which I hadn't noticed before. So I've had a bit of an experiment and play about. I've taken it so far. So not picking, I'm just going to try and take this apart. So yeah, screw hole down the shackle. Thanks to Tequila Dave as well at this point. He pointed me in the direction of a video that really helped me with this, because I'd got it so far and then just got a bit stumped. So very quickly, so a couple of ball bearings in there. This is the first use of my nice new pinning mat. Let's get some tweezers for these parts. So yeah, it's just a empty plastic body, steel shackle. Just put these bits out of the way. Then you've got an actuator that operates on the ball bearings, and key out, and then the core is just held in here. So all pretty simple so far. This is the bit that stumped me. So the key goes in, and the first clue is that it's a limited turn. It's a 90-degree turn, which is like a lot of padlocks, which means that there's generally a retaining pin somewhere at the back. And indeed, if you look on there, these are a 6-pin lock, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 holes, and there's just no movement at all. So yeah, there's a retaining pin at the back. So to get around that, I must get around to ordering some shims, because I've found what I really need for this is a almost as well perfect shim. Okay, so let's put a little bit of zoom so you can see what I'm doing. But in this 7th hole, if you use a probe or something like that, there's actually there you go, you can see that a sprung detent in there, and that's the pin that holds the core in. Obviously the key pins and driver pins are holding it in as well. So what you need to do, and as I say, literally, that's as far as a shim will go in as it stands. Try and do this so that you can see as well. So you need to push that detent and then just gently wiggle that shim in so that it's beyond the detent. Don't do it with the key in. Things start to move. At the moment, everything's damaged that shim. So and then this is as far as I've got this. So actually looking in the camera to see if I can get a better view of what's going on. Just give a slight turn. And the shim is absolutely imperative on this car. So what I think's happening is that sprung detent is pushing at the shim, try and start that again with a better shim. Okay, that's about the best shim that I've got. So same thing, just set it in to the very start. Okay, and that's just slipped past the sprung detent and the key in. So this is not the sort of thing that if you were thinking of progressively pinning this lock, I would say it's not worth the bother. It's not like an 1100 or anything like that, where it's a fairly painless process. It's an absolute pain. But I do want to see what pins are in this myself, so this is for my interest as well as anybody else that's watched me pick one of these before. And say, I've actually practiced it up to the point where I got the shim in, and now I can't get the shim in again. There we go, it's got it moving just enough. Okay, now I'm going to turn that back to straight up, because as I moved this core just ever so slightly before, I did see that it was a horrible skeletonized core. Let's just get just enough zoom so that you can see what's going on. Didn't prepare myself properly. I haven't got a follower ready. Okay, so I'm keeping that part of the core upright, and let's see how we go on. Let's just have a quick double check with another shim that we're all the way down. So this will either work or brick. So there you go, yeah, exactly as was being suspected. It's this horrible, horrible skeletonized core. Okay, first time using that new mat, and I just realised that nothing is where it should be. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, I'm not going to do anything about rearranging those. You can see that that's it. I'll give you a look around that core. That's the hole that the detent rides in. Oh, a massive cutout there. They've gone all out to save as much brass as possible on this. That's why it's best to keep it riding along the top, else there's a massive gap there and you run the risk of falling in between those ribs. I think what I also now need to be careful of is I don't want to lose that detent pin So let's just push that back and we'll have a look at these drivers. Okay, so the first one we've got is a standard. Okay, second is a standard. I think I'm going to be fairly disappointed at this. My suspicion of this lot was serrated pins. They all seem to go with lots and lots of little clicks. Everything coming out so far. Is a standard pin. Now, I'm not going to push that any farther at the moment. In fact, I'm going to push it back because I can bet that detent, that sprung detent, is an absolute sod to get in and out. But that's all that's left at the back, and I'm going to leave the springs in. So, where do all the clicks come from on this lock? Nothing in the car. Not checking the Bible. So yeah, it is possible to gut one of these Martindales, and very shortly I'm going to find out if it's possible to put one back together. But there you go. That's the one finally gutted. Motorist one. I hope that is of some interest to you. It certainly is to me, and it just goes to show how wrong you can be about what you're feeling in a lock. I was absolutely sure they were serrated. Anyway, thanks for watching. That's just the Martindale PAD11 being gutted. So, happy to report that it all went back together absolutely fine. Yeah, so there you go. They can be non-destructively gutted, but I really would question if it's worth it. So there you go. Thank you very much again.